I believe that minimalism is a lifestyle rather than one-off thing. Does it mean I have to get rid of everything? Is it overrated? Can you go too far? I'm on the journey to find answers to all those questions. In today's video, I would like to share 10 ideas and practical tips that I found insightful after reading a book called Messy Minimalism. And I hope you will find some of them useful and interesting for you too. The first idea is that minimalism is for real people. And this realistic minimalism will be different for me, for you, and for someone else. So, of course, it's really nice to get inspired by how other people implement this minimalism in their lives. But the most important question is how sustainable it is for you and your family. And I ask myself the same, how sustainable and how practical it is for me to sustain what I see as minimalism for me. And all the different factors, like do you have a big family? Do you have kids? Do you have pets? And what are the types of personalities do your family members have? They will all affect on the way you would like to implement, or you already have implemented your minimalism, and it will be really different for every family and every person. The second idea that I really liked a lot is that minimalism is there to serve me, not the other way around. I found it so easy to get trapped into the idea that, oh, I shouldn't be buying this, or I should be getting rid of that, and I should be reducing a number of that and that. But in reality, minimalism shouldn't complicate my life. It should be the opposite. It should make my life easier, and it should make me more available to see the things that really matter to me. If at some point I'm worried that I'm not doing it right, and I'm seeing that someone else is doing it correctly, then I have to sit, breathe out, and think what minimalism really is. It's there to help me rather than worry me. The next is really a good mindset shift. Just as you should never give a toddler an open jar of glitter, neither should you give a messy person 24 pairs of jeans, 68 t-shirts, 18 bras, and 34 pairs of shoes. It's a recipe for the disaster. I think that this analogy with the toddler and the jar of glitter really clicked in my head, because now I truly feel that whenever I have too many items, and in my case it's mugs for tea and coffee, it's so easy to get messy if you are a messy person by nature. So for example, I tend to pick a new mug for every cup of tea that I would like to make, and I often find so many mugs on my working desk that I can't really realize that it's all me that was drinking this tea or water or something else. So I truly know that my actionable step here would be to take away all the unnecessary mugs and leave them in a box for the time when we have some guests. And for everyday use, it's better to reduce the number of cups in the kitchen so that I have just less opportunity to create a messy space around me. Guys, if you find this video interesting so far, please support it with a like. And I do create videos on minimalism, productivity, and other topics. So if you would like to see more videos like that, please subscribe to my channel, and let's continue. The next interesting idea that I picked up is to ask yourself a question: why are you doing minimalism, and why minimalism? Because in the end of the day, it's not a number games. We don't aim to come to the end of our lives with less stuff. It's all about what does the minimalism bring to your life. And for me, it's having less items so that I could focus more on something that is important to me. And for other people, it can be really different, because some people really like the feeling that they can cope with less. The next idea is very related. So it may help to think of minimalism not as a deprivation, but more of prioritization. And this is giving priority to something that truly matters to me. So for example, to my family, something about my hobbies, and so on. And now we will move to more of the practical side of the ideas. For example, borrowing before or instead of buying. I really like the idea of trying something before buying it. For example, a pasta maker or juice maker, or in my case it was a baby carrier that would be really nice to try before actually investing. And it's really handy if some of your family members or your friends already have this item that you would love to buy or to try, and it's either they could explain you what is their experience using it, or you can borrow it and try it yourself. Especially with some kitchen appliances or baby or kids stuff, it's very nice to trial it and understand will it work for you and your family or not. Also now I found this very useful and very good to use all the trial periods for nearly everything, for the gym subscription, to streaming subscription or some online courses, because you can try and see does it work for you. A lot of companies offer trial versions for free, either for a reduced price, and I think it's a very good way to understand if the idea of doing something is good for you, or if the actual action is good for you and you will continue, for example, going to the gym or watching something or studying something, because until we try, we never know. The next idea is related to decluttering, because as a minimalist, I would like to keep the items that serve me, that are meaningful to me and that I'm using. And whenever I stop using something or it's not good anymore, I try to get rid of it. And for this, there are multiple options. First of all, we could sell them. Secondly, I could donate them, or I could recycle this. And the idea here is to know where your things will be going. So for example, I know where is my recycling center for the items that I cannot pass on to other people. If I would like to donate some item, I know the organization which is close to my heart, and it's easier for me to pass this item so that I know it's used by other people. And for example, with kids and baby stuff, it's so much better for me to give away to someone who will be using them, and the idea that someone will make use of those items that are close to my heart really makes it much easier and more pleasant for me to give them away. And as a part of this idea, whenever I decide to sell something, I usually give this item a few weeks of time and see if it gets sold, and if not, I either lower the price or just give it away for free so that this item doesn't stay with me for too long. The next point is really relevant for me as a mom, because my daughter started to bring some handmade items from nursery, and I expect it to grow over time. So first of all, with all the items that she brings from nursery, first of all, we leave them to enjoy them. And then next, I will be asking myself, does this item represent my daughter's work and my daughter's creativity? Because I know, especially at the youngest age, a lot of things that they are doing at nursery is actually done by the teachers. And it's really nice that they do it all together, but the most of the value are in those items that she actually has done herself. So for example, for her age, I know that she can do some prints with hands or draw some simple lines, and I know it's her work and this is valuable to me. And the rest, which is very complicated and I know she hasn't done it, it's nice that they are learning about it, but it's not something I would like to keep for a long time. And then I like the idea of creating a system where I could store or present this artwork or crafts. For example, I found multiple ways on Pinterest, like putting them in a frame or putting multiple in one frame, or having a box to store all the creative work and showing just multiple. So it's something for me to look into in the nearest future. The next idea is not about the physical things, but more about the mental things. And this is the one that I started to understand really recently, and that's about the capacity. So it's the busyness of my calendar versus my capacity. And it's very important to understand that if I have available slot in my calendar, it doesn't mean that I'm mentally available for doing something. Sometimes we need to have this space in our calendar to breathe out, not to do anything, because we have to recharge our energy. And whenever I get an opportunity to do something, I will both look at my calendar and ask myself how available I am for this mentally. Is it something that will exhaust me, or is it something that will bring energy to me? The next idea is about the space that we create when we get rid of the things that don't matter to us. And it sounds like the fact that the place is empty, it doesn't mean that it has to be filled. And I really understand it, because sometimes when I look at the empty wall or empty countertop in the kitchen, I think, what would I like to put here? And this is especially very true in the beginning of the journey, because whenever we have some empty space, we are thinking maybe something is missing here. And in reality, it is the habit of having this empty space, so that the space which is not empty has more meaning to us. Actually, recently I found a very fundamental, as I think, habit for every minimalist, and I share this habit in this video. So I think that you should definitely check it out and let me know if you think the same. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!